Hello everyone, welcome at Exampur and I'm Kumar Ravi and today I'm here to teach you the physics, general physics portion for your examination. So first of all, I welcome you, all of you, and I just request to gather at this platform so that we can learn physics in a very interactive manner. Come please soon join us as soon as possible and share this video among all your friends so that they can also get the benefit of this session. Okay, so your examination name is Junior Court Assistant Exam, and in this section you will get some questions from general science, and in the portion of general science there are total 3 subjects named as general physics, chemistry and biology. The general physics portion will be covered by me, and I'm sure that you will enjoy the concepts of physics with me. Please do share among all your friends. So friends, let's start. Laws of motion. Laws of motion. This is the basic chapter of physics, and the concepts of this chapter are being used by all of us in our daily life. Okay, laws of motion. Laws of motion. There are total 3 laws of motion, and we study them like first law of motion, second law of motion and third law of motion. All these laws of motion were given by the Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton is the great he was the great scientist. It will be very good to say that Isaac Newton is a great scientist because his concepts will alive thousands of years till this earth will exist. Okay. So let's study laws of motion. The first law of motion. First law of motion. According to first law of motion, according to Isaac Newton, he observed a body which is in the state of rest, and he observed till it started its motion. And he also observed a body which is in motion, and he observed till it becomes into the state of rest. Then after he concluded that a body always try to remain in the same state as it was until and unless we apply an external force. First of all, all of us should know about the force. What is force? Actually, suppose that this is a mobile phone and which is in the state of rest on my palm. If we push like this object changes its state from rest to motion, due to which I have pushed this mobile phone, and this push is known as the force. And also we can say that this mobile phone is kept like this, and suppose that this mobile phone is in the state of rest, and I just pulled this mobile phone like this mobile phone come into the motion, due to the pull, and this pull is also known as the force. So we can say that push or pull, which are responsible for the change of state of any body, this is known as the force. According to Newton, when a body is continuously moving, it always try to remain in the state of motion until and unless we apply the braking force, until and unless we apply the brakes. A body which is in the state of rest will always try to remain in the state of rest until and unless we just push that or pull that. And this law is known as the Newton's first law of motion. We can observe, we can see that there are many examples in our daily life who are from the Newton's first law of motion. Like when you travel in a car or when you drive a car, according to traffic rules, we are advised to fasten our seat belts while driving or riding a car. Why? Suppose that you are sitting in a moving car and the car is moving at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. When the car is moving with the speed 100 kilometers per hour and you are sitting in the same car, then it means your body is also moving with the same speed. It means your body is also moving with 100 kilometers per hour. And suppose that any object suddenly just come in front of your car, just like any dog or any other person or any other thing, any obstacle on your way, then your driver have to apply the brakes suddenly. The car will stop suddenly because the brakes have been applied on the car, but brakes have not been applied on your body. Your body will remain in the state of motion. Your body will try to remain in the state of motion because it was in the state of motion earlier. That's why your body, your whole body will move towards the same direction with the same speed. And suppose that you have not fastened your seat belt, then obviously your head will collide with the upper part of the car and you will get injured. Most of the people, they just lose their lives just because of this incident, because some of them, they don't tie their seat belts while traveling. That's why this is the very very important example for our daily lives. Okay, so this is the first law of motion. And here, guys, you must have a paper and pen so that you can write the definition on your paper, and I will just write that definition on board and you will have to write on your paper so that you can revise when you go for the exam. Okay, I will teach each and every section of the general physics so that all the questions will be covered in this exam by this batch. This is a free batch. Okay, so first law of motion, according to Newton, according to Isaac Newton, a body always tries to remain in always try to remain in same always try to remain in same state as it was as it was until and unless an external force is applied. An external force is applied. An external force is applied. Okay, so what does it mean by state? First of all, I have seen this word written in many books, but nobody has defined this word. Remain in the same state. State. What does it mean by state? Actually, state here, the state means motion or rest. Here, this is the meaning of motion state. A body, when we talk about the motion, suppose that a constant speed motion is also a state. A body which is moving with a constant speed will not accelerate or deaccelerate till we apply any force. That's why to change the speed of the body, you will have to apply some force. That's why a constant speed motion is also a state. Okay. And so this is the definition of first law of motion. And there are many examples. There are many examples as we have already told you. Just like examples, according to traffic rules, we are advised to fasten our seat belt while driving or riding a car. Okay. So this is a daily life example which is very important as a viewpoint of our exam, because this question has already been asked in different examinations. It is most probable that it will ask in your examination. It will be asked in your exam. It may come in your exam. Okay. So, and this is the first one. And suppose that you have also observed that a person who want to just deboard the train suddenly, he will have to face, he will have to deboard the train by facing in the same direction the train is moving. Okay. So, second, a person has to run in the same direction. A person has to run in the same direction just after deboarding, just after deboarding, just after deboarding from moving train. मूविंग ट्रेन. ठीक है ना, ये चीज हो गई. क्या हुआ? Linear momentum can be described as linear momentum can be described as the moving mass. Moving mass. 1 minute, please. Oh, I think you guys were not audible as actually this voice. Okay, just seen at this time that somebody informed me here and at my home uh, that you were not audible. So please check your mic. I've just then go to check and found that the lead was out of the transmitter. Okay, nobody. I will repeat that definition in the next class also, but now let's move ahead. The moving mass, linear moment, a linear momentum, moving mass. Okay, so when we talk about the moving mass, moving mass, actually a body which is moving with some velocity and having some mass have a physical quantity that is inside the body and which is known as the linear momentum and denoted by p. Suppose that a body which is moving with the velocity v, the mass of the body is m. Okay, so the linear momentum of the body, linear momentum of body p, and this will be equal to m into v. Okay, so the product of mass and the velocity of the object, this is known as linear momentum. P is equal to m into v. M into v. Okay, so the unit of momentum is kilogram into the unit of velocity. This is meters per second. Meter per second. So the velocity, the unit of momentum is kilogram into meter per second. Kilogram into meter per second. Okay, kilogram into meter per second. Kilogram into meter per second. Okay, so suppose that now we will study the change in linear momentum or rate of change of linear momentum. Change in linear momentum. Change in linear momentum. Okay. Change in linear momentum. Suppose that this is a floor. A ball is moving with velocity v1. The mass of the ball is m, And suppose that this ball is moving with velocity v1 and I have just applied this force. I have applied this force, and the time was t is equal to t1. And after some time found that the velocity of this car become equal to v2. Okay, and the time was t is equal to t2. Time okay time t is equal to t2. Now the linear momentum at this point will be equal to p1 is equal to m into v1, and p2 is equal to m into v2. So here we can observe that the velocity of the body has been changed. That's why the product of mass and velocity will also get changed, and due to this there will be some change in the linear momentum. The change in linear momentum will be written as change in linear momentum will be written as delta p, and then delta p will be equal to p2 minus p1. Delta p will be equal to m into v2 minus m into v1. Delta p will be equal to m into v2 minus v1. Okay, so this is the change in linear momentum, guys. This change was observed during time t2 minus t1. This change was observed this change were observed during t2 minus t1. T2 minus T1 is equal to delta T. Now, so the rate of change of linear momentum rate of change of linear momentum and this will be written as delta P upon delta T, and this will be equal to m into delta V upon delta T. Okay, delta V upon delta T will be known as the acceleration of the body. So here we can see that this becomes m into A, and we all know that the m into A is also equal to the force. Okay, so the rate of change of linear momentum is equal to the force, and this question has already been asked in different examinations in the many years, many times. Okay, so this is the rate of change of linear momentum. This is the rate of change of linear momentum. Okay, and here we can observe that delta P upon delta T is equal to F, rate of change of linear momentum. Suppose that if the time duration is very low, then the force will be very high. If the time duration of change of momentum is very high, then the force will be very low. And this is the reason that when a cricket player catches a ball which is coming with the velocity, he just brings his home backside, and it will take some time from this position to this position, like that, delta T, and that's why the value of delta T will increase, and that's why the force applied by the ball on his hands will be very low, will be minimized, and due to this he just don't get hurted by the ball which is coming with a very high velocity. Okay, because the value of rate of change of linear momentum decreases from when he just brings this ball from the here to the here. Okay, so guys, for today, uh, it's over for today because I'm not too much feeling very well. We will start again tomorrow at the same time, and we will start with the law of conservation of linear momentum and third law of motion, and we will see the many examples of third law of motion in our daily life. Then after we will solve some questions based upon the laws of motion and some questions from the previous year's examinations. So, okay, so it's enough for today, and all those people who are going to celebrate the Raksha Bandhan, wish you all a very happy Raksha Bandhan. Thank you.